And right now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for us to invite this man to join us on stage and deliver his keynote on AI for industries, advancing intelligence. Here we have the Chief Digital Officer of Huawei APAC Enterprise, Mr. Huck Siang. Let's welcome Huck Siang.
Good morning. Show me your hand if you have tried using ChatGPT. Okay. Show me your hand if you try using ChatGPT to create PowerPoint, to write a CV or resume, to create anything, or like maybe your own graphics of yourself that is younger or older. Show me your hand. Okay, you try something like generative AI, okay? So today I will talk about AI, but then I think the human brain is still very amazing. Yeah, we have unlimited power, capacity to learn, and then to create new things. Show me your hand, anybody who are below 35. Okay, you are the future. You are all the young, energetic, powerful brain that you create new stuff. Anybody above 55? Don't be shy. 55 is not a retirement age. My mom and my dad, they were teachers. They retired at 55. I think that is too young to retire, okay? Anybody below 45? Great, great. According to Harvard research, 45 years old is really the inflection point that you become happier in your life. Okay, so that's Harvard research, yeah. So my passion is not just AI, but my passion is meta learning, like learning how to learn. Meta coach is like how to realize human potential. But today I will use the next 15 minutes to talk about some concept of AI. Okay, so we all have the opportunity to learn together. I'll take you onto the journey. I'll introduce some terminology that could be new to you, some concepts, and if you're inspired or you learn something, you shall celebrate. Yeah, after these 15 minutes. Okay, I work in an enterprise business group of Huawei, and my role is more on an advisory role, and also engage with like CXO or owner of business, or CEOs in the strategic planning and things like that. Okay, so today I'll talk to you about AI. I'll give you one example. My first experience of AI was like in 1995, when my classmates in the engineering program was trying to do image processing. He was trying to create a program and try to input and learn some data from different images of like animals, cats or dogs, and then taking a lot of inputs. And then when you have a new image, the program will tell you, this is a cat. Okay, this is a white cat, a black cat, for example. Okay? But then, fast forward. Image processing is already in your phone. Can you still remember like 5-6 years ago? Can you take a very nice picture at night with your phone? Maybe not so nice. But now you can have night vision on your phone. So that's part of the application of AI in your phone already, yeah? But fast forward, when you look at AI application in the industry, not just in your life, this is what I'm going to focus on today, yeah? Okay, so to begin with, a little bit about Huawei. Huawei generated revenue at around $89 billion globally. That was 2022, last year revenue. And then our revenue in the non-telco, we started as telco, telecommunication network. But then last year, our non-telco revenue, has already exceeded the telco revenue. How do we do it, right? We went into enterprise business. We use all kind of IT technology, communication technology, to provide solution to enterprises, be it government, transportation, mining, financial services, okay, energy sector, healthcare. So these are all the vertical industry that we invest in. We work with partners to create solution that is useful to the business, okay? And then Huawei Cloud is our sponsor today. Huawei Cloud is my partner. I work with them. So Huawei Cloud, AI has invested a lot, and they have more than 1,000 projects globally. And this is what we hope to bring in to work with partners and our clients in Malaysia. Okay? Now, I'm going to delve into some concept of AI, because so far, what I've observed from morning until now, we talk about AI, but we don't know what AI is all about. Some of the technical terminology, try to learn, try to pick up all these words. I want to introduce the first thing, parameters. Large language models is being defined by the complexity of the variable, the factors, that its ability to process data, to do prediction, to give you the result that you want, like how you use ChatGPT. So the parameters, the bigger the parameters, meaning the higher number of the parameters, it means that it's more powerful. Okay? So, ChatGPT, the parameter size was about 175 billion parameters. Very powerful. But if you ask ChatGPT today about the news yesterday, it doesn't have the information. ChatGPT was trained, so there's a term that you shall learn, trained. Trained on the data from the internet, I think up to September 2021, if I'm not wrong, right? So anything new is not trained on. It couldn't give you the information, okay? Now, another term, token. So the input that the large language model read, like, for example, saya anak Malaysia, saya anak Malaysia, these are the 3 words. So it would translate into numbers that the large language model of AI would process it. So that's called token. And output that it generates, like talking to you in human, it's called token, right? So the number of tokens that it reads and it processes, so that's so give you the result of AI. Now, there's an interesting number here. The size of the parameters, the bigger it is, the more powerful it is. So on the screen here, 62 billion is a number to remember. It's based on research and based on various analysis of different large language models. When the size of the parameters reached 62 billion, it reached a phenomenon called emergence, meaning it becomes very powerful and more accurate. The larger the size of the parameters, it becomes more accurate. Yeah. So the greater the size, the greater the capability. It sounds a little bit like Spider-Man. Yeah. Okay. All right. So this is what we're advocating for industries. The earlier you adopt AI engine or AI model to train your data. Remember, train and data. The earlier that you can train your data, the more accurate your AI model would be for your business. So you shall adopt AI as early as you can to train your data, to pick the model that you need. Yeah, it could be any model, but I explained to you what are the different models that you can use. And the more you train, we call it the flywheel effect. The more accurate it will be, right? You spin, and it becomes more accurate, all right? Where's my screen? Okay, so now Huawei large model is called Pangu. Pangu is a Chinese term, Chinese company, right? So in the foundation layer, these are the basic foundational models. Similar to large language models, large language models fall into the category of NLP, natural language processing, NLP model, right? CV model, I'll showcase two examples of CV, of two foundational models later. CV model is called computer vision, where you read photo, graphics, and then it processes and gives you some output or recommendation. So that's computer vision CV model. Natural language processing model, so that's similar to ChatGPT, large language model, right? And then the rest. And then layer 1, for Huawei, we create industry-specific tailored models. So we have like a meteorology model for weather forecast, healthcare model, electric power model, government model. So these are models that train on public data, okay, general public data. So it has certain characteristics, but those data are public data, right? It has a foundational, more advanced model than foundational. But then at the top, those are scenario-specific pre-trained model, meaning you can take the model and then you train on specific data in very specific scenario, for example, emergency response. Emergency response for flood. Emergency response, for healthcare, for example. So those are specific models. Now, all these models are available, made available by Huawei Cloud. And then, for the Pangu model, the commercialization model is based on you can buy this model for 10 billion parameters, 38 billion parameters, or 71 or 100 billion parameters. So these are the application of a Pangu model, right? Okay, so I want to give you an example of the computer vision model, right? CV model, right? So let's look at this example. It's a electric power company application of AI.
The State Grid's Chongqing Yongchuang Electric Power Company is located in the western part of Chuanxing. The company is responsible for the O&M of 45 substations, over 1,600 kilometers of transmission lines, and over 5,000 kilometers of distribution lines. Traditional manual inspection of these power lines is labor-intensive, and the work environment is harsh. Yongchuang Electric Power Company actively explored the use of new technologies in their daily work. One brilliant example is intelligent power line inspection using UAVs. Today, automatic inspection of the power grid, removal of foreign objects with the power still on, and 3D digital power grid are widely used, covering power transmission, transformation, and distribution facilities. We did encounter many challenges in developing intelligent inspection solutions. Massive amounts of data collected by UAVs need to be manually labeled. Dozens of AI models need to be developed to cover 100+ power grid defects. Without enough samples, it is difficult to develop high-precision AI models. To rise to these challenges, we switched to large models trained with massive industry knowledge. This hugely reduced manual labeling, and a single model can adapt to all defects. Huawei Cloud's Pangu large models have revolutionized AI development, helping to usher in Intelligent Inspection 2.0 for power grids.
Okay, so there's a basic idea of how to apply AI. So I hope that it helps the bankers or the tech players who want to invest in this thing, or even the electric company who wants to apply this kind of technology. Yeah. Okay, so next I'll talk about the large language model, similar to ChatGPT. It's called natural language processing. Okay, so the Pangu model could go up to about 200 billion parameters. ChatGPT is about 175, but the difference is not just that. The NLP model of Pangu process large amount of Chinese language and also the Arabic language. So these are the two complex languages that we brought in, and then we create that huge model that very high accuracy. Okay, but how do you apply natural language processing? Digital human, for example. So you could record your own voice, and then you create an avatar of yourself, and then you put in the text to talk about different things that you have never spoken before, and that robot, your digital human, will just present, maybe in your own language or in different languages. Okay, so this is quite popular now for many companies. Even in China, some of the CEOs, they create their own digital human. All right, okay. So an example of a digital human application, and also, we work on the project in the Middle East, in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, where we help smart city to simulate, what are the vision of, e-government, and also digital twin. We use digital twin, and also digital human, right, to create that smart city vision. And it's good for envisioning what could be the future, but it also take into consideration all the data in the current environment to create that projection of the smart city, how the design could be. So it's actually part of the generative AI as well over here, right? All right, my second last slide. I have less than a minute. So one of the contributions of the Pangu model is in a weather forecast. The publication of a Pangu model in weather forecast was actually accepted by International Journal of Nature. Do you know that there are 80 typhoons in a year? And it creates a lot of destruction in different countries. I used to live in Hong Kong and Taiwan and Shenzhen. I experienced the typhoon signal number 9. Who lived in Hong Kong before? If you experience typhoon signal number 9, it is quite crazy, yeah? So the weather model trained on the more than 39 years of global data. And the processing speed is actually 10,000 times better than the current traditional weather forecasting. If you need more information, I can share this with you later. But to wrap up my presentation today, Huawei wants to embrace partners to work with us, to look at our AI models in different applications in different industries. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Lim Huck Siang, Chief Digital Officer for Huawei APAC Enterprise. Wonderful presentation we have here.